So this is my latest version of my Modular music studio. So I have an iPad, I have an Orange, I have a computer which I'm not using at the moment, studio monitors, etc. Nice 61 key keyboard. And I just wanted to do a quick walkthrough of a couple of modules that I've just built recently. One is an Ableton Link module. So I found this project on the web and I modified it for this OLED display, and it basically generates a clock and a reset pulse. So I'm using the clock to clock my performer sequencer, and the resets is also comes in here to sync the sequencer to the iPad. So right now I'm at 120 BPM. So if I change this down to say 100 BPM, come back up here, you see the link module is now at 100 BPM. So let's put it back to 120. So what I've got set up here is I have an instance of Atom. So I'm using Atom to send MIDI to this module, which is a sample player. So my sample player is the other new module I've been working on. And this thing runs on a Pi 02W wireless Raspberry Pi. And it can play up to 8 stereo samples simultaneously. And you can trigger it either via MIDI or these bottom 2 rows here are 8 trigger inputs. And the top 4 are CV inputs. And so you basically go through the menu here and you can set up the samples. And once you get in the samples, you can set how they're played. You can pan them, change the speed, set them up to be played by a MIDI, various other things to set up CVs, etc. So I've set up for the first 4 channels coming out of the performer are hardware triggers, and they're triggering drum samples. These 2 channels are triggering vocal samples. The MIDI input again is coming from Atom, so it's triggering a bass sample loop, and because it's being re-triggered, it's basically chopping the bass sample loop. So let's hear what that sounds like. Well, there's an issue with it. It doesn't quite sync, so for some reason Atom starts up a bar or 2 before the rest of it, but it's probably some setting in Atom I have to figure out. There's the bass loop.
Hey.
So drums and 2 vocal samples that are being played back. I have a probability set up in the sequencer. So it's kind of semi-randomly playing the 2 vocal samples.
Hey. Huh.
So let's stop it. Played 1 bar that we shouldn't have. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with this sample player. It's worked out really well. It's much more useful than I thought it would be. You can basically, anything you can record, you can play back, and you can trigger it various ways. Change the pitch, you can play it backwards, forwards, modulate it with CV. It's quite a nifty module. I'm not ready to release the source code as yet. It's still kind of work in progress, but yeah, really pleased with what I've got so far.